Ethereum is really having its Bitcoin moment with a lot of treasury companies that are basically buying Ethereum to have it on the treasury, and it's pretty amazing. You have the list of all the companies with Bitmine leading the way. BMNR, that's the ticker on Nasdaq if you want to go and check it out. It's really up for a nice ride because they just added one of the largest treasures to the company, and in total they own 1.75%, close to 2% of all Ethereum so far, which is still less than what Bitcoin treasury companies are owning, because Bitcoin treasury companies own something like 3%. Of course, that's led by Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. With Ethereum, it's only starting, but so far it's already pretty substantial, with $9 billion and 18 companies holding. Those are public companies, right? So you have also private companies holding Ethereum, but this is just only starting. The biggest two are Bitmine and Sharplink, and of course you might know Coinbase, which is another one public company that's been holding Ethereum for some time, and there's a different entry value for those purchases here. So I think not all of them on here are correct, of course, looking at the price, but this is all about how much they bought in for and what they're trying to do with it. And this is really cool because we're going in the end to have more and more institutions owning different kind of cryptocurrencies, because just of the ease of the transaction, or maybe this is a good point to hold it. So it's really cool, and it's really cool to see that, especially looking from the perspective of Ethereum holders. I think it's going to go really great. So Ethereum, if you look at the price action for the past couple of months, wasn't that great, especially in April. We got this crazy price action. So we got to, in December, that was the local top of $4,000, and then there was this long movement down for 4 months, basically ending with the price being something like $1,400 around April 9th. That was the peak fear for the tariffs and everything happening globally. And since then, it's been a steady growth with those jumps here. So if you manage to buy around here, you're super happy probably. And also if you manage to add a little bit here, you're very happy. But also even if you were buying last month, you're also up. And so far the move looks pretty nice. Of course, no one knows what will happen. Nothing here is advice, and especially not financial advice. Crypto is risky, you can lose all your capital, and Ethereum is known for, especially for the past 2 years, basically, of moving sharply back from this 4K range. As you can see, we had this all-time high of $4,800 in 2021, and since then there was like massive move down, but of course that was fueled by all the Luna crashes. Then we have FTX crash, so it wasn't really good in 2022. It got a little bit better only in 2024, but basically still you had this massive down move here in August 2024, September, to basically $2,000, then back to $4,000, and then this massive drawdown to $1,500, and then we back again to $4,000. So this is one of the craziest movements, especially that we're talking about the $500 billion asset, which is really substantial. But yeah, trading, you can basically make a lot of money just trading Ethereum. That's the only thing you could do, and you'll be fine. And it seems like we're going to go for a ride still because of all those companies that are buying Ethereum, because of many of the ecosystem that is super lively on Ethereum. There are many different exchanges, all the L2s, all the projects that are building on Ethereum. So I think that's pretty cool to see. So yeah, definitely, if you're not in crypto but into stocks, then definitely have a look at those stocks, because I think those are interesting. They are trying to do something very cool. If you look also at the price of MicroStrategy, how it grew over the years, maybe some of them will be able to repeat that. So I think this is going to be very interesting, and we're going to see super cool stuff, especially that Tom Lee, which is the leader of Bitmine, the CEO, he's doing great work. He's great work ethic, going on all the podcasts possible and talking about Ethereum and his price targets for basically like $30,000 of Ethereum, and basically that we're getting something like $15,000 by the end of the year. I would take that with a grain of salt, but of course that would be fantastic if that happens. We're going to see. In the end, Ethereum can surprise us all as it did in the past, so we're going to see what will happen, especially as institutions are coming into play and traditional finance is getting interested in this kind of asset. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.